good evening, and welcome to Thursday night. Is it Thursday night? Yes, it
That's
is.
true.
Okay, well, normally this is Kstlyz night, but tonight we have a special guest. But before we introduce who he is, in case anybody don't know who we are, this is Atlanta Falcons Nation. If you're tuned in right now, please hit that share button, share it out to everybody so they'll know that we have a special guest in the house tonight. It's going to be a great show, as well as hit that subscribe so we can get to 2K on AFN. We appreciate you guys tuning in. But I am Miss Maggie T, you know, um, co-host, whatever you want to call me, producer, all the above. Then below me, who do we have? My goodness.
It's the great one. It's the great one, Mad Mike, the one and only on his way to 6K. That guy's pretty dang good. That boy's pretty dang good. That boy good. He good.
Yes, he is. And then over here, who's praying? Who's next to Mad Mike?
Feng Shui. It's your boy Kstlyz here. Y'all already know what it is. 6-man, aka the Fat Man. What's going on, people?
All right. And it looks like we already have a super sticker, but we're gonna get to that. But let's go ahead and introduce the man of the hour. Was it 30 minutes? Who do we have right there? Who is Miles Garrett? Could you tell us who you are? That's going to lead into our first question anyway. Let's go ahead and start it off. Let's just introduce who you are. And let me get that up real quick. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into journalism with Fox 5 Sports?
Yes, ma'am. So Miles Garrett, not the Miles Garrett for the Cleveland Browns, unfortunately for your audience here. Merely just a journalist with Fox 5 Sports. So I just recently started with Fox 5. Started there about a few weeks ago. I'd say the beginning of July or so, first week of July. Used to intern there back in 2017, so I did a couple stuff for them back in the day. But I'm working with them this season, working on their Falcons show specifically. We're partners with the Atlanta Falcons this season, so we are in charge of all their shows. We do Early Birds, Dirty Bird Report, their pre- and post-game shows during this season. So a lot of shoulder programming that them, and we're really excited. Our show is tomorrow, our pregame show for the Atlanta Falcons against the Tennessee Titans. So we're really excited about getting that going. But as far as how I got into journalism, I majored in journalism in school. I went to Elon University, sort of a small school in North Carolina, pretty close to Duke. But yeah, I'm surprised you guys have heard. Not a lot of people have.
I'm a Duke fan, so I know. Yeah.
But there you go. Yeah, you guys can beat up on our UNF game at the beginning. But it was a good experience. Was there for 4 years and graduated in 2018. And then I went to WGXA in Macon, Georgia as a news and sports reporter. And then I went to WSBT in South Bend, Indiana to report on Notre Dame. And now I'm here.
Okay. So we got all your background, and
we're not going to let you get away that easy.
Go ahead.
Where are you originally from, and who is your professional teams? You better not say LA. You better not say LeBron, and you better not say LA.
Oh no! I'm a homer. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from sort of the northern suburbs of Atlanta, Alpharetta, Georgia. Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks, Braves. I'm wearing the Braves hat right now. So no, we're a homer for the hometown team.
Good. You fit right on in there. Okay, and my next
rank over the years.
I was wondering
I guess we're going to go into was this the only career you wanted to pursue other than journalism?
Well, I'm trying to think. Up until I'd say probably the 10th or 11th grade, I wanted to be an astronaut, believe it or not, like any other kid, I guess. But I realized I wasn't good at math and science, so I probably shouldn't pursue that. So I tried next, like, what else was I passionate about? I played football in high school, and I really wanted to kind of stay involved with sports. And capacity. So kind of had and looked at career options, and it seemed like the best one to pursue.
Okay. I always ask that question because I'm curious as what else you know, because like I wanted to be a doctor when I grew up, but of course math and science is not my expertise.
It gets you. Yeah, it gets you pretty quick.
And fellas, do you have anything to add to that before we move into the good questions?
I wanted to be an Egyptian king, believe it or not, growing up. I don't know why, but I just wanted to be an Egyptian king. I was just always fascinated by it.
Mummies were cool. Mummies were cool.
Right.
Hey, I'm about to say it's not that we're not good at math, is that we don't like to deal with calculus and trigonometry and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I could count my coins. I could count my money.
Of course.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, well, who would? Yeah. Who would want to do that? Not me.
That's great. So who inspired you to just go into your career as journalism, I guess? Anybody that you can name that just made you say, you know what, aha, this is what I want to do?
I wouldn't say maybe anyone in particular. I sort of did have one of those moments, I guess you could say, when I was a senior in high school, and I was looking at people who I'd want to be like, and Adam Schefter was at the top of that list, the analyst with the NFL Network, who I'm sure you guys, or ESPN, that I'm sure you guys are very well aware of. And I just tweeted at him one time. I was like, what should I do to try to be like you, essentially? And he DM'd me, which I thought was really cool. And he said, treat people fair, work hard, do all that kind of stuff, trust the process, all that kind of stuff. So him sort of messaging me was kind of, I guess, a shot in the arm to be like, okay, like maybe this is something like I can do. He reached out to me. He didn't have to do that, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, so. I love when, like yourself, you're reaching out to people, you're being personable. That makes a world of a difference for small people like us that are not in that field, but we admire what you guys do. So for you to just say, okay, yes, I'll come on your show and you're answering, that makes a world of a difference for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is pretty cool when someone reaches out to you and someone who you might admire like that. And I mean, with this show in particular, I've been a big fan of you guys. Watching you guys on Twitter. So
yeah, no, we've been starting to follow each other. I know. So it's like I've been watching, been checking you out for quite some time. I didn't even know that this was just a new thing for you as for Fox 5. I've just been kind of following you since I guess with the UK guys, the connection. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and follow this person because we know everybody's connected in some type of way.
Yeah, it's a big Falcons network on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to say this. My question, and just forgive me, a lot of my just come off the head. That's why they call me the mad scientist. Just right off the top. What's a life-defining moment as far as sports are concerned? One moment in sports. It doesn't have to just be football, baseball. Like in sports, that say, you know what, I want to be a professional athlete. Like one player or a moment. It's like, okay, this is what I wanted.
That's a good question. I mean, it's difficult to think of. There's so many. As a kid, the first athlete that comes to mind who sort of got me into just sports, period, like being a sports fan, was Javi Lopez with the Atlanta Braves, the former catcher.
I just knew you was going to say a Brave. I knew you was going to say a Brave.
and I don't know why. It was one of those things, me and my dad, that was a big thing with us as a kid going to baseball games. And for some reason, it wasn't Chipper Jones. It wasn't, Smoltz, Glavin Maddox, or any of those guys. It was Javi Lopez for some weird reason. So he was sort of the first one that I was like, sports are cool. I'm a big fan of this particular athlete. But as far as playing and where I started being like, oh, okay, I really want to be like that guy. Definitely Calvin Johnson. I was a huge, still relatively big Georgia Tech fan, but when I was a kid, diehard. Like I was
Georgia
crying
Tech.
After losses.
Georgia Tech underneath you.
One of those types of fans. Oh yeah, I got the helmet right there.
It's a Tech.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. It's about 11 of us around here in the state of Georgia.
Not too many. Not too many of us roll deep. Yeah, exactly. But
so funny.
Yeah, no, I mean 2006, or 2004 to 2004 through 2006, watching Calvin Johnson play that was sort of when I started playing football myself. So that was when I was just in awe of watching him. I was just like, this guy is just not human. I just always be watching highlights on the computer before going to practice, being like, oh, I can make that one-handed catch. Like, it makes it look so easy. Clearly not, but wishful thinking. But yeah, no, I mean, Calvin Johnson still is to this day, and I was really excited to see him get in the Hall of Fame. And I've been a volunteer at a lot of his camps. I've got to meet him a few times, so he's a really great guy, and his family's really nice too.
Okay. Well, I think I want to move on to the questions that Atlanta Falcons Nation family in the chat is waiting on. Let's get into these Falcons.
Sure.
So, few questions for that, and then, however you feel fit after that. But how do you feel about training camp under Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot? If I said it right, I hope I did.
I'm liking it a lot. So, yeah, you did. Terry Fontenot, not Fontenot. It's Fontenot. It's interesting because back in 2017, the year after they went to the Super Bowl, I went to training camp there when Dan Quinn was still there. And the vibes are visibly different from training camp then to what it's like now. Number one, right off the bat, under Dan Quinn, music was blasting during practice. You could almost barely hear yourself think. It's very loud, bass-heavy music to where, it was almost like, I hate to use this comparison, but it was almost like a club-type environment.
Gotcha.
Very loose, very, loose goose, do your thing. Arthur Smith, complete opposite. There's music playing, but it's sort of faint in the background. You can't really hear it too well. And it's sort of a metaphor for how he coaches. It's no BS, do your job, and I don't want to hear it. I mean, the offense, when I was there for practice, 2 players jumped offside. He made the entire team take a lap around the field. And I was like, this is not something Dinkley would have done, just right off the bat. No, I'm liking it. He runs a tight ship. He's very Belichick-esque in that way. Belichick, arguably the greatest coach of all. It's just very do your job type persona to where I'm telling you to do this, do that. This is what I expect from you. I don't have any of this rah-rah statement. Grady Jarrett even said in the the press conference after the first day of training camp, and it's been sort of his quote of training camp is, ain't no fluff with this new regime. It's no catchphrases, none of that. We're pissed after a loss. It's straightforward and expect to do your job.
You can actually say the word piss. Okay, you can actually say the word piss with the team without any.
Yeah, it gives me flashbacks. Yeah.
I agree. When I went to open practice, it's just even the crowd that was coming into the stadium, it was just so many people, so many happy faces. Everybody's just like, finally, we're excited about something again. It just, that energy was a little different. Even when they huddled up at the end after the practice, everybody was in smiles. Yeah. They were just, intent with what he had to say, and everybody was just paying attention. You don't see somebody doing this. You don't see somebody doing that. The entire team was focused on Arthur Smith. And they thanked the fans, and we happy that y'all are here and everything. They made us feel special for coming in there like we're a part of this team.
Exactly. Yeah. And, there's a big, Arthur Smith himself, I'd say, isn't quite as personable as Dan Quinn was. Dan Quinn was more, he's better at probably giving those speeches to fire you up. That really isn't Arthur Smith's type. But, I think it's something that, you put in comparison these types of rah-rah statements, all that kind of stuff. It can be good for, 1 season, 2 seasons, but the NFL is cyclical. You have new guys come in all the time, new fresh faces, draft, free agents. That message isn't going to come across to every single group that you have. So I think that's where a lot of disconnect happened with Dan Quinn with some of these guys. Now, that first few groups that, they get to the Super Bowl, they're all buying into the same message. But, suddenly you see these guys leave, new regime comes in, new players. They're not all buying into the same statement. And that's why I think Arthur Smith, or any other coach for that matter, with kind of distancing themselves from that persona, it's sort of just a coaching method that, it's going to last over different players, different, coordinators that come in.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Anybody want to add something to that? So we go to the next question.
Oh, I was gonna ask something. So by looking at the player's body language, so that's why I say you said you feel like it's a different feel as far as from this regime to the last regime. And what was that? What's that feeling like from your perspective?
Sure. Yeah. As far as the players vibe, it's just it's not. Again, I hate to say that they're not loose because they are loose. At the end, you have to be loose. It's just to a certain degree. Training camp is just starting. But I think they're just buying into the fact that this guy's telling us what to do. We need to do that. There's nothing else that we need to worry about. None of this other fluff, like Garrett said, that we're trying to follow here. It's my assignment is this. Do that assignment. It's none of this other team hoorah thing like. Embrace the suck like Dan Quinn used to say, stuff like that. Just do your job. We have an assignment. We're giving you the assignment. Do that assignment. It's very straightforward.
Or you run routes again if you mess up. The entire team, one band, one sound, some type of situation. It's
And I will say, and I will say, Arthur Smith is quiet, but if you mess up, I have noticed he'll get pretty angry if a player messes up. He can get kind of colorful out there when a player messes up.
We kind of see it in his eyes and those speeches. It's like, he's a little serious about what he means.
I got a question. I have a question for you. I have a question for you. This is a little lift. But was there a moment when you're asking the question and whatnot, just being around the Falcons, like was there a moment where you say this guy is absolutely nuts? Was there a moment around Arthur Smith when you said, yeah, this dude doesn't have it all?
Arthur Smith?
Right.
I wouldn't say so. Honestly, I really don't. I mean, there hasn't been a moment where Arthur has been, or that I've seen, or even noticed for the players for that matter, to where you're like, oh, that was a little too much. That was a little out of line. It's been sort of, he's gotten mad for, I suppose, valid reasons. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars to win games.
They need to do their job.
They need to do their job, So I wouldn't say he's been out of line or just anything that's, where I'd say he's crazy. Maybe a player who is yelled at would say a different opinion on that. But from what I've seen, the players do seem like they respect the man, which is something that you want at the end of the day. That's the bare minimum that they respect the coach.
Okay, and we're gonna get to the next question. I guess other than the energy that you got from who stood out to you during practice the most?
Well, I'll give the cliche answer. When Kyle Pitts walks onto the field, you're like, this dude's different. It's the same thing the same vibe that I got, when I saw Julio Jones walk on the field. It's just one guy looks different than the rest. It's just sheer size, just what he can do. Like he's in the huddle, and you're like, this dude's bigger than all the other guys in that huddle. Like he stands out. It's one of those things where he's just. He's the 4th overall pick, so it's hard to avoid him. But, he definitely looks like he's Matt Ryan's favorite target. These tight end sets that they're running with Arthur Smith is, I don't want to say it's going to completely make up for Julio Jones' production, but with as many sets that they're running, I'm seeing 3 tight ends on the field at one time on numerous occasions.
I got to put you on the spot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you said something that really piqued my interest. Matt Ryan. All right. That's just be on guard for it. All right. There's a lot of people, and not just fans, analysts, journalists. Sure. A lot of people feel as though that Matt Ryan has lost something. Like if you could, like you've been around the team, like if there's a moment where you said, okay, Matt Ryan is not that same guy. Have you had that moment?
I haven't. concern I have regarding Matt Ryan right now. As far as his play, he looks the same that he's always looked to me. He's got the same zip on the ball. I mean, he's never had a strong arm. We've all been aware of this, but he's still got the same. If anything, I think he looks a little bit quicker. They've been actually focusing on that with him, sort of his quickness with Arthur Smith. They've been running, some drills. They've been having him with a coach work on that actually. So that might be moving a little bit more this year. But regardless, the concern I have with it is the offensive line because there's so much movement there right now. Caleb McGarry has been hurt for a long time. Drew Dahlman is sort of their backup Swiss Army knife. They got the rookie, but outside of Jake Matthews and Chris Lindstrom, there's a lot of uncertainty there right now. There's just so many guys going in and out. They're not sure who's going to start yet. In a perfect world, Jake Matthews, Caleb McGarry, at center, Matt Hennessy, that's his first year. He's taken over for Alex Mack. So that's some big shoes to fill there. So we don't know how that's going to be. The chemistry is really important when it comes to being a center in the NFL. Timing is huge. So you got stuff like that. Josh Andrews is a guy they just signed. I believe he's going to be starting tomorrow from the New York Jets. And he's coming from the Jets. So take that how you want to take it. Honestly, in my opinion, if the line can keep Matt up, the man's been sacked more than 40 times each of the last 3 seasons. That tells you all you need to know. Every time Matt has not been sacked, I believe the number is either 30 or 35. I think he's taken him to playoffs. He's just one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. So when he's upright, he's one of the best of the best. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, and we got to protect this man. We do. He gets up and just keep moving. Well, let's go ahead and get into a little bit since we kind of got who stood out to you. I guess, do you predict a better season for the Falcons with the new direction for 2021?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, we look at this team just last year. This team is literally 4 plays away from, I think, having 4 more wins last season. This is probably the best 4-12 team we've ever seen. Just right off the bat, Dallas should have been a win. Chicago should have been a win. I believe there was one more ridiculous comeback that they had. The Lions should have been a win. Todd Gurley doesn't fall into the end zone. So that's 3 just right off the bat I'm thinking of. I think, this team is a lot more talented than people are giving it credit for. The defense still has a lot of work to do. They're still very young, but Dean Pease is a significant upgrade as a defensive coordinator. I mean, he's done the job at pretty much every spot he's been at in the NFL. So I have a lot of faith there. He's going to have to do some wonders because, again, outside of Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, and AJ Terrell, who I think is going to take a really big jump this year, there's just not a lot of talent there. They're so young and they're so inexperienced that I can't confidently say that the defense is going to be good this year. I mean, again, 21st in the NFL would be a significant improvement for them. They've been just hovering around 25 through 32 range. It's not going to win any games. When they went to the Super Bowl, they were 28th. That tells you all you need to know. The defense has just always been holding this team back.
I agree about that. I don't expect it to be like a perfect defense, but I do feel that people don't give Raheem Morris enough credit because he turned them around just a little bit, though. There was some type of improvement there, definitely. So with Dean Pease, while he's a solid assassin right now, we don't even know what he got going on right now.
Yes,
I think he's well aware that he has to improve this defense, definitely.
I agree, and I will say that's another observation I've noticed in practice. The defense does look feisty. They look a little different. They're putting in different looks in practice, and again, it's something that fans have been freaking out over on Twitter because they show these interceptions from Matt Ryan, these really cool plays that the defense is making. They show a Deion Jones interception. They show an Isaiah Oliver who had a really great play the other day, a one-handed interception. And it's like, oh, Matt Ryan, what are you throwing to? It's like, no, the defense is actually making some pretty good plays out there. So, again, God forbid the defense actually does something, but Matt Ryan, it's all Matt Ryan's fault. But no, I think that might surprise some people.
Hey, any improvement to the defense is a win in my book because
for sure.
If you've been a long-time Falcons fan, you know what we've been dealing with.
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
You had some, Mike. I saw you. You had something.
I do. Here we preach the small, intricate details of football, the 3-and-1s, 3-and-2s. Using 3 tight end sets, something that we rarely saw under former friend is what we call him, a dirt cutter. Is there? Have you seen anything for you that said they really, putting more emphasis on, the small details, the red zone, the 3rd-and-1s, those type, being more physical, as far as their drills is concerned, like just anything that says right off the bat, we're going to be tougher. We're going to, play smart football. Is there anything that stood out to you?
100%, and I credit Arthur Smith's play calling ability to this. There's two different things that immediately come to mind when you say that. Number one, and I'm sure this is going to excite a lot of Falcons fans, goal line situations. They've run a lot of I don't want to call them pick plays, but essentially plays that get guys like Kyle Pitts open. We never saw that with Julio Jones. Guys who have this ability to get jump balls, but they use guys as decoys. Russell Gage comes across and suddenly Kyle Pitts scoots out and he's wide open on the side. Just different plays like that. It's again the red zone type drills, and I'm like, oh, this is something I'm not used to seeing. I don't remember them dialing stuff up like this for Austin Hooper or Hayden Hurst last year. Something that I've never seen before. And also, when you talk goal line or short yardage situation, look, this is a team that's going to 100% be taking on a new identity when it comes to the run game. Arthur Smith is a play action run first identity type coach, and granted, Derrick Henry isn't on this team, so that might be a little different at first. But Mike Davis is more of that bruising running back, and I do think he'll be an upgrade over Todd Gurley, whose knee is, I feel like there's nothing left in at this point. But Mike Davis, again, he's more of that bruiser, and they've got a lot of guys back there. Cordero Patterson has been used a lot in a lot of different ways. They use him out of the backfield to catch passes. They're using him in the run game, and he's a big guy. I can imagine not giving him the ball when it's 3rd and 2, or Mike Davis the ball when it's 3rd and 2. There's just a lot of guys back there. They're using Quadri Austin a lot more. Dan Quinn really didn't use him, or Dirk Cutter, whoever was calling the shots there. He wasn't really used last year, and he's been used, I'd say, extensively so far, more than I've seen them used before. So it might be a running back by committee at first, that we could be seeing until someone breaks away with a role. But yeah, those two things stand out to me the most. The running game that they're just going to be adapting, and those goal line situations, getting Kyle Pitts the ball, which again, why not do it? He did it so well at Florida.
I like what you said right there about just players that. This is something we talk about here. It's going to be a lot of players that didn't get that shine last year. We're going to start seeing this season, I think, especially due to COVID last year. I even say the rookies from last year, they are still getting it together because we didn't have this full practice. We didn't have all those things for them when they came into the game. So they're still learning as well. So, it's a better situation for everybody at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Mm-hmm. And one of our last two questions, because we're going on our 30 minutes, basically just more elaborating on the offense and defense. Which side do you see the most improvement?
It's difficult to say because, again, the offense has, we hired an offensive coach the first time.
Right.
They've had an offensive coach since Jim Mora. It's been a long time, or Bob Petrino, but I don't count that. But regardless, they've never had this offensive coach to guide them. Smith and Quinn have always been the defensive guys. But from what I've seen, the offense does look like they're going to take strides, especially with Kyle Pitts. I don't see Matt Ryan taking any regression yet. Maybe next year we might see some slowing down a bit, but this season I don't see it yet. Again, the offensive line might be holding them back, like I was saying earlier, but it's weird. I might say the defense, just because of, how you get worse. It's one of those things where they literally can't get worse. It'd be a surprise to see them get any worse than what they've been playing at. So I'm going to say the defense because I think the offense will sort of continue business as usual. Again, it might be, one of those transition years. We saw even with Kyle Shanahan, as great as he was, that first year with Shanahan, it wasn't quite what it was supposed to be yet. And Matt Ryan even came out and said, the terminology, you got to get used to it first. You got to
get used to it.
Yeah. So, maybe it's one of those years where they're just trying to figure some stuff out. Next year is the year they take that jump. So who knows?
I agree with that. Because I think everybody's expecting like explosiveness. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Who is this new team? They have to learn this new terminology, the new coaches. It's like Matt Ryan is always with a new coordinator, a new head coach every other year. So it's like he doesn't have a chance to get comfortable with everybody. And then once he finally get there, it's like, oh, well, we're getting rid of him too. So guess what? You started all the way over again, Matt Ryan.
Oh, yeah, you go Mike Mularkey, Dirk Cutter, Kyle Shanahan, Steve Sarkisian, back to Dirk Cutter, and now Arthur Smith. I mean, I can't imagine having to learn all those new terminologies every single year and expect to, have any sort of consistency with that.
Right.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Anything else last minute, sirs, before we get into, what he's his projects and everything?
I got a question. I'm gonna put you on the spot again.
Go for it.
Since you're a Braves fan, what are your true thoughts about Brian Snitker? Because I'm trying to find something nice to say about him, but what are your real thoughts, your true thoughts as a fan? Okay, that's the lead of professionalism. Like you're off work right now. All right, your boss won't see this. Your boss won't see this. Nobody will see this. What are your true thoughts of Brian Snitker? Okay.
I'm honestly a little torn on it, to be fair, because I've spoken with a few players and got some perspective on Brian Snitker. And what they think of him, that sort of influences how you think of him too when you hear how the players think. And from what I've heard with the players I've spoken to, even Ronald, maybe, a little bit of they absolutely love the guy. They think of him as a second father. And it's probably why some of his bullpen management has been pretty questionable for me sometimes, as it's been for, I'm sure, a lot of Braves fans, putting Will Smith out there every other day to close the game. I get really anxious every time, as I was last night. It's sort of a split bag, and personally, I think it's a little unfair to judge him this season because of all the injuries that have happened. I think it's hard to judge a team, when you lose Ronald Acuna, Mike Soroka, Marcelo Ozuna, Ian Anderson, all these guys. No, it's just like, okay, like what's the manager really going to do at the end of the day with that lineup? So they're in first place. I mean, I don't know if they're in first place. I know I'm pretty sure they lost today.
I believe last night they were. Yeah,
they won last night. I think last time I checked the game today, they were down 9-1. So not feeling too good about a win today, but. The fact that they are even in the discussion for first place right now, I think it's crazy. And again, I mean, whether you put that on Snitker or not, he still is the man in charge of that team where they are in first place, and he's already got 3 division titles to his name. So I don't know. It's hard. I'm sort of split. I don't know how much better another guy can be.
And that said that he's better than Freddie Gonzalez.
Oh yeah, everyone's better than Freddie Gonzalez.
The Mad Monk ATL said he's better than Freddie. So
I'm better than Freddie Gonzalez.
I love Freddie, but
that just gave me heartburn. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Hey man, I love talking to you on Twitter, man. We absolutely love having you on. We'll love to have you back whenever you're free. Look, man, kind of give us, your final thoughts on, just whatever.
Sure. Yeah. No. Again,
what's next for you? Any projects coming up for you?
Sure. Yeah. Again, very happy to be on the show. Thank you guys so much for inviting me. We're really about to kick it into gear with Falcons stuff. I'm in charge sort of producing a lot of these shows, Early Birds and Rise Up Tonight. They're run by Kelly Price and Justin Felder are sort of our main talents on that. I'll be making appearances here and there on them, specifically Kelly's show, Early Birds, which airs at 8:30 on Saturday mornings. I'll have a segment called Chatty Birds, where me and Kelly sort of have a back and forth on air talking about the Falcons. It's actually coincidentally my job tonight to sort of think of some ideas for that. So I'm here brainstorming a little bit on what we want to do for that. We've got a big interactive wall that we can sort of play on and create different segment ideas for, sort of a Sports Center-esque type segment. So that'll be where I reside. I'll do some Falcons packages during the week, when I'm at camp or at practice, whatever it might be. Or it might be practices with Georgia Tech, and whatever they might ask. I'm sort of their utility guy, so whatever they need me to do, I sort of do it for them. But yeah, it's about to kick into gear next week, and really excited for the season.
I could say what I could suggest for you guys. I don't know if you have this segment, but the Atlanta Falcons don't really do this too often. But
let's hear it.
Fan appreciation. Fans like to be heard and be seen and be recorded and tailgate. If you can have some type of segment where you're going through the tailgates or you're meeting the fans, the super fans, just to show them on screen, I think that would be amazing for a lot of fans to see that on the channel, other than just hearing about the players. They just want to see them like, oh, there I go. I'm a big fan of the Falcons. Look at me on the screen. I think that's a big thing I want to suggest for you guys.
It's funny you say that. You might be seeing something like that pretty soon. I can't say it.
But, okay.
You guys might be onto something there. We're scheming on something regarding that right now.
Oh, great.
Okay. But that's because that's what we feel like we've been missing.
Oh yeah, there may or may not be something like that debuts next week, but can't say it yet.
It's coming.
Right.
We got a whole season. I'll look out for it. Make sure you send us your schedule of all the shows so we can definitely let all our fans know to tune in and everything. So we can post it everywhere so they'll know to watch it. But it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. What's your next project other than just the shows? Anything outside of Fox 5?
Not really, honestly. We're gonna be so busy with this. I don't have time for any other projects. In the spring, things might cool off a little bit, but right now I'm booked up through football season. It's gonna be a really busy fall and winter.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time out before it gets really busy, because tomorrow it starts. It starts tomorrow, so
it's getting ready.
Get your rest, get ready. We're gonna be looking out for you. Of course, we're gonna be following you on Twitter. Everybody follow him, Myles Garrett. He says it right there. It's not the person you think he is.
Exactly, not that one, the other one.
But you're just as important to us Atlanta Falcons fans. So thank you, Myles Garrett, and we appreciate you. And come back anytime if you want to. Of course, hint, hint, we would like to be a part of that fan base,
Absolutely.
On Fox 5 one day. That'd be wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. Again, I'll keep you guys on speed dial. We might be using you guys pretty soon.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. And we want to thank you for coming on again. Everybody follow him on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can find him. Myles Garrett. You can't misspell it. You can find him. You see his face here. But thank you.
Thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. Hope you guys have a good night.
You too. You have a wonderful evening.
All right, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, man, I love these interviews. Man, I love these interviews.
I love it.
Man.
We got some super chats we got to go all the way back to, because we missed quite a few.
Yeah, we had quite a few.
Let's go back.
Can we go back that far?
Yeah. Exactly. We had a super chat from DJ, a super sticker, $4.99. Appreciate you. We didn't want to, we didn't want to miss you, but the guest was on, so we didn't want to highlight that too much till after the show. And then we had another one. Let me go back. Sorry about that, people. Oh, and we have Hank DZ. He loves the show at $5. Thank you for the donations. We appreciate you. All proceeds go to the tickets that we give out, prizes, because the season we're gonna be doing giveaways. It's gonna be so much fun doing this season. I can't wait. And I think that might be it. Let me see. I think that was it. Other than that, we can just highlight some comments. This is kind of a just an interview show, so we didn't really have it scripted tonight. So it could go however you want to go, and we don't even have to go 2 hours because we're gonna be back on tomorrow anyway. So, let's see what we got in the comment section. Let's see anything that stands out. I'll start from the bottom.
Oh my God! Do y'all see that? Oh my God! Man, this ain't no damn. This ain't the damn Bachelor. Oh my God! That's just gimmick. Look.
What the hell is that shit?
Wow!
I don't even know why you highlighted that.
I don't know why you even highlighted that shit.
I don't know why you highlighted that. Thank you, Twisted.
Wow. Are we really?
Oh boy, that.
Wow.
You shouldn't even highlight that.
No, that's no. Okay.
Well, I don't know why you highlighted it. I wasn't gonna even acknowledge it, but okay.
Look,
let's see. Let's do it like this. Drop your questions. I'm not even finna go back. Just drop your questions. It's the Q&A session.
I got Kstlyz treatment today, boy. I got Kstlyz treatment today. Ooh, goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Hey. Nah, man.
And Norman Fitzgerald, we do collab with other content creators. We always do. We just go on their channels. They come on ours. So
let us know who y'all want. Hit them up. Tell them that they need
exactly. It's nothing to have them on. We always have the invite. It's always open. You know what I'm saying? But we're so busy in our own thing. We can't think about everybody, to be real.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a suggestion, let us know who you want.
Hit them up.
Yeah, hit them up. Let them know that y'all want us to collab with them. But look, we be so busy with our own thing. We have a whole crew over here. It's hard to keep up with every content creator they're out there for Atlanta Falcons, to be real.
Mm-hmm. We had Tyrone on Kstlyz Sports Podcast. He has his own show. He'll have his own channel real soon. He does a great job. He's with Dunn. The Kstlyz Sports Podcast. He does the Hawks. He's gonna do he actually gonna do the Georgia Bulldogs content. So if you guys like Georgia Bulldogs content, he's the guy to go with. Because look, last time I got some good numbers from the Georgia Bulldogs, but I got called all types of N-words, and so I quit the Georgia Bulldogs. Y'all made me want to turn into a Tech fan. Okay, all the words they were calling me because I said I hate Kirby.
Someone said, here's a question from Reginald Banks. Who scores the first touchdown on the preseason? You know what? We got asked this last season, I think. But who scores the first touchdown in the preseason for the Falcons?
Oh my God. Predictions. Look, I'm gonna say Young Way Cool because I'm terrible at it anyway. So just Young Way Cool. He gonna catch a punt. He gonna catch the ball that damn Justin Fields didn't catch. How about that? He gonna be lined up at
predictions. We don't do because one thing is preseason. So preseason, it only first 2 quarters matter anyway. So I don't do score predictions for preseason or period. To be honest,
I'll take a crack at it. I'm gonna say Lee Smith. Fuck it.
Lee Smith, really?
The Mountain Man.
Oh goodness.
He gonna catch a wide open pass in the red zone for a touchdown.
And Eric, no, we're not going to be at the game tomorrow. I got some things to do. So we won't be at that game, but we're going to definitely try to make a preseason game.
Mm-hmm. Got to get ready for the season, man.
Because, school's in session. And, of course, Miss Maggie T had to buy all kinds of clothes for big old girls and boys. And, y'all see that GoFundMe at the bottom that help a sister out. Help a broke sister out. The Cash App. Because I don't have babies. I have big girls and kids that wear big shoes and big clothes. I'm still recovering right about now. Really is. Let's see what else we got here. How is Frank's looking and your predictions on him? from Plain Niche 2004. Chris S.
Felipe Franks.
Who?
He said he was asking how's Felipe Franks looking, and what's your predictions on him?
He's a third string quarterback. He's inconsistent with his throws. I mean, that's to be expected from a third string quarterback. But he is showing promise. A lot of people really see his development as a quarterback. Like I said, I'm not surprised at all. But again, AJ McCarron is going to be the backup. Like that's without question. He's the most consistent. But there is some bright spots with Felipe. His arm strength his arm talent is amazing, but it goes back to consistency. And one thing that is on his as far as his on the bright side or good side, or is that he has an offensive coordinator that likes to run the ball. So anytime you have that, you throw him into the fire and let him, immediately come out throwing the ball 50 times a game, he's gonna look absolutely terrible. So now he really gets the time to to slowly mature as a quarterback, because a lot of these guys they don't understand that the speed of the game is different in the NFL. If we just talk about the verb, the language. The language is completely different. You go from college, they on the sideline holding signs up on the plays. They're not doing that in the NFL. You got to listen to the calls. They don't do that in college. A lot of times, even on audible, you see how the defense is lined up in college. They looking toward the sideline, looking at the coach. Coach, what should I do? You're not getting that in the NFL. So a lot of these players are just getting acclimated and trying to get comfortable with, just having a different style of football. That's where it really is, just adjusting.
Be having signs that got Mickey Mouse and Justin Bieber on there with the number 9. They be looking like, and that's all you see. They say you get the NFL, it's grown man football, so you better get the call as soon as I call it, or you ain't gonna get it at all.
All right, here's another question from.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, you had something else you want to highlight?
No, I just wanted to show that. That's all.
Okay, well, now you made me lose it. Somebody basically was saying which defensive player will have, a good first preseason.
Kstlyz, you got that?
Hold on, repeat it one more time.
I gotta find it. He don't highlight it now; it disappeared.
Oh Lord!
It's basically which defensive player was going to have a good preseason game tomorrow.
Who's going to be the best defensive player in the preseason? High grade in game 1 in the preseason. I say Jonathan Bullard.
That's interesting.
Because that's the main thing we're going to have to look at, especially because that's kind of hard to say high grade what defensive player, because first of all, we have to look at the concept of Dean Pease and what he does.
Right.
We got to see that live.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we've heard nothing all offseason. We've just heard legends of what he can do. But if I take a crack at it, I'll say Jonathan Bullard. But if you're talking about somebody that's going to be a backup or something like that, I throw Michael Walker. One of those two. It's kind of hard to tell.
Ms. Maggie T, what you got?
Honestly, I can't say, honestly, because like you said, we don't know what Dean Pease has been doing with these boys. So I feel like it's going to be somebody that we ain't even thought about, to be real. I think it's going to be a lot of surprises coming up out of this preseason leading into game 1 of the regular season. Because as you see and hear, Arthur Smith don't play. He don't play. He will sit you down, make you start over, all of the above. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of switching around, and it's going to be a lot of adjustments going on in this preseason game where everybody's going to get an opportunity to kind of show themselves. So it's hard to say. I guess we just got to see what game one of the preseason is going to be about. You really can't call it.
Right. Only thing we can hope on is pressure from the defense. That's all we're gonna be looking for. I don't think.
And just like I get you. It's asking for players that aren't the obvious, and I think that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get some players because we kind of saw that a little bit when Raheem Morris kind of came into play a little bit. We started to see some defensive players kind of showing out a little bit, or just players that we was like, where did he come from? So it's gonna be a lot more of that coming because, that's why I just think so. And Eric said he's looking at the coaching staff. Oh, definitely. I just want to see that chemistry on the sidelines to see how Arthur Smith really reacts to his team and how they respond to him. I think it's been accepting. So it's going to be kind of exciting just to see all of that. Really, I don't have a say so on who I feel is going to be the most explosive player right now. Right now, like we already said, this is year one again for Matt Ryan and the crew. So, lots of new players, young players. We don't know. We don't damn know.
I'm not looking at the players. I'm looking at the sidelines. Because, again, I said this last night, I believe, that I just got tired of looking at the sideline and Dan Quinn standing there with his damn arms folded, looking at a play sheet like he's like, no, this shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not working.
You talking about that blank stare? We be like,
yeah, he's like, you just gave up 14 points in 2 minutes, and you up here looking at the play sheet like, no, it's not working. Okay, so I want to see the coaches actually on the sideline teaching. Outside of seeing Greg Knapp and his relationship with Matt Ryan, like. You see them going through the play sheets and they talking to it, they're communicating with each other. I didn't see that from any of the defensive players, defensive coaches. I don't remember seeing any one of them doing that. I don't remember seeing. You see, what I did see was the communication between Dan Quinn and Raheem Morris. You always saw them whispering something in each other's ears, like y'all gonna do something? Somebody gonna say something? Y'all gonna bit somebody? Like, you gonna do anything? It was always them two talking amongst each other, and we didn't see the position players, the position coaches talking to the players. We never saw that. So I want to see that communication between the players and the coaches. I need to see somebody getting smacked upside the head. I need to see somebody helmet getting thrown. Like, I want to see all that type of stuff. That's very important for winning, man.
And Scotty Robinson, he said, I don't trust Atlanta Falcons defense. Will they be better than they 3 and 4? I don't trust it either, but we can only go by what they have now and what Dean Peace is going to do.
I mean, let's be real. Like, I'm not saying this like to be mean, but who cares if you don't trust? That's not for us. They got to get on the field and show us. So whether we trust them or not, it doesn't matter. They need to get on the field and show it. So that's why I always say, let's wait and see. Maybe these guys have really turned it around and they got it straight. So it's like even for me, I can sit up here and talk about what Matt Ryan gonna do or what Julio gonna do in Tennessee or what Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts is gonna do. None of that crap matters. These guys need to step on the field and perform. I'm tired of all this fluff. Well, I'm the best.
You can throw to your teammate, but when it comes to your opposite opponent, that's when it really matters.
That's what I'm talking. So, I don't really care about my thoughts or your thoughts or how you feel, because we can do feelings all dang on day. But that ain't gonna change nothing until you see it on the field. You know what I'm saying?
What you got, Kstlyz?
If you didn't understand what they just said, I will put it in 4 simple words for it. We don't damn know.
Oh man. We don't know. So like I said, like that's my thing. That's why I have a wait and see philosophy, because we don't damn know. We don't know what's going to happen. Even Miles was saying, it's like, yeah, he thinks the offense is going to be good. He thinks the defense, may or may not be this, but we just have to see. We don't know anything. We have no clue what this team is going to be. It could be a completely different team. It could be a top 5 defense. All we know, we have no idea. So we can sit up.
And I like that Miles was very honest about it. He was basically going into it like everybody's thinking that it's going to be a complete 360. We're not going to get 360 turnaround, not in year 1. So expect better than what we had as far as a record last season. But I say wild card, possibly. We'll probably make the playoffs, but we're not going to be like top seeded this and none of that. Especially with Mr. Brady over there just running the game.
You're not a real fan. You're not a real fan if you're talking about. We just had a 4-12 season. You talking about Super Bowl, like that's dreaming. Okay, let's be real. This team does have holes. We do have deficiencies on both sides of the ball. Like you were saying, the offensive line, the defensive line. We don't know exactly. These guys are young, or Miles was saying these guys are young, and Matt Ryan, we don't know if he's going to fall into that, Drew Brees, or he's going to be Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Drew Brees in the last, his last years as a quarterback, he could fall in that. He could be Tom Brady, and he can play till he's 40, 43. We have no idea. So, again, it's boring as hell to say it, but we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say, did y'all want to see another year of Dirk Cutter doing this on the sideline, former friend doing this on the sideline?
Looking at that play sheet is not changing.
Burning a hole in that play sheet like
And G-Town Baller 5, I just want to see our defense play with a new intensity throughout the game. Just improve. Absolutely. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. And we don't need a top 5 defense, just one that doesn't give up.
Right. That's
absolutely
right there.
Look,
you said it.
Look, I'm about to say in football, it ain't got to be a top 5 defense. It ain't got to be a top 5 offense. You just got to score 1 more point than the other team. That's it. You ain't got to have a top 5 defense to do that. We just tired of, like I said, I didn't say this before because of respect of the guests. We don't need the Suki Hana, Amber Rose slut walk defense. We don't need to see that.
Everybody get a turn. Everybody get a turn with that defense.
They was for the streets last year. We don't need that type of defense.
Right. You don't need that.
And I like what Jordan Yates says. Every team has holes and young guys. It's about leadership, accountability, and pure want to. It seems we have more of that. Yeah, it's definitely about accountability. So even if preseason 1 don't go the way it is, I'm guaranteed they're going straight to their locker room and watching film, and they're gonna get it right for the next time. It's because they got to get rid of the jitters, the nerves. They got to get rid of all of that. So, I just want to see improvement. That's all I'm happy about. I'll take whatever we can get at this point.
Yeah, like I said.
Someone said the Falcons defense just didn't give up last year. They were just trash. Okay, all right.
No, I like that's not true whatsoever. You're not gonna shit on this team because that's not what. Even though they were bad, we did see them play up the par.
We saw improvement, definitely,
and that's why we're talking about Raheem Morris. You know what I'm saying? Like he did. With the players that he had, but like at that point in time, the season was already done. So it's like there's only so much you can do. And like I said, we saw
so much little time.
Yeah, we saw those guys make improvements. We saw them get more pressure towards the end because the beginning, we wouldn't get any pressure. And we used our linebacker. We used Dion to get out the quarterback. We used Fourier. We used Michael Walker, those guys to blitz and get out the quarterback. And we saw Isaiah Oliver played well. We saw what we can get out of AJ Terrell. But again, it was just too little too late. You know what I'm saying? At that point, we was in Matt Ryan played tremendous toward the end of the end of the season. Nobody said anything about that. He played tremendous ball towards the end of the season. So this team doesn't like the defense isn't trash, like Miles was saying earlier. We had like 7 games or something like that where we lost like for one. It was literally one possession. That's not a trash team.
Now here, nephew.
Hey.
Y'all hear that? Oh gosh.
Yeah. We have to remember the concept of players cannot overcome bad coaching. Like I said, with the defense last year, you have to remember, and this is what we talk about, is they do one thing that works in the first half, and then once they get a lead, then they revert back to the same.
They go away from it.
Exactly. So it's not so much as trash. It's not so much they were trash. It was the fact that they didn't have the leadership to keep them going. It was, we got a lead. Now let's just take a foot off the gas. That comes from the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said good player. Wait a minute, I don't froze up. Oh, I would say good players can't overcome bad coaching.
Mm-hmm.
That came from Belichick and Randy Moss themselves.
I'm about to put a K-Style turn on it. I'm about to put a K-Style twist on it.
Hold on, let me do it right. Let me get
go ahead.
Drum roll. Go ahead.
If your mama telling you not to beat up the little boy and you want to beat the living snot out of him, guess what? You ain't gonna do it. It's really that simple. If your mama telling you to be nice and you want to beat the crap out of somebody, guess what? You ain't gonna do it. So you gonna follow whatever your mama and your daddy. If your mama said beat the crap out of them, guess what? You gonna be beating the crap out of them, or guess what? You gonna be on punishment, or you gonna get a whipping. It's like going after that bully. If your mama saying, look, boy, you better knuckle up. You better knuckle up. Don't be letting nobody do you like that. But if your dad and your mama ain't telling you these types of things, like, look, man, somebody hit you, somebody embarrass you, you gotta throw them bowls at them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Falcons are doing. You got Dan Quinn. These guys disrespected them time and time again, especially in New Orleans. I mean, we saw Tom Brady. They had the game in full, like they had full control of the game. This was just last year. Fourth quarter, they still out here throwing the ball. Fourth quarter, they were out to embarrass the Falcons. And guess what Dan Quinn did? Absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Look, you saw what they did to even Mr. I'm about to say Foreman, but Freeman. You saw him hanging his little ass up like Aaron Donald had hanging his ass up like this. You know what I'm saying? Hanging up like this. Who came to his aid? Nobody. So when you create a soft culture, the players are going to play soft. And that's what Arthur Smith is changing. He's changing that soft mentality. Whatever your boss is telling you, how to think, how to do, this is what we're not going to tolerate. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball or we're going to pass the ball. You become whatever your boss is.
Right. And remember, Miles just said it before. When Dan Quinn was here, they pretty much ran a club environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody chilling. Okay, I'm finna half-ass it and stuff like that. Arthur Smith ain't like that. They got some music, but if you ain't gonna do your job, we got somebody behind you that's willing to do it.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Or an entire squad, y'all running.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it is. If you mess up, all of y'all, we can start this whole play all over again and get it right.
Right.
I like that mentality.
So
accountability. And Jose Cuervo says, I believe with the veteran players we have, and if the coaches bring a better scheme and game plan, and looking back at all the close games we should have won, we will compete to go deep in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely have a way better schedule than we did have. I definitely say that. I feel playoffs is in the horizon for the Falcons. Definitely. But it still is a wait and see type of situation.
Yeah, and I have to tell Virgo Life this. I'm hearing nothing but negative points. So it's like, what's the point of even watching the team if your expectation is so bad? Like I said, you
Yeah.
might well not even watch to save yourself the headache. Sorry, but
Man,
yeah.
look, I'm just not. Look, man, if you gonna keep that, if you gonna,
If you keep the attitude, you might as well watch a whole nother damn team, or don't
just
even
go
watch.
back and watch them. Go back and watch the damn 2015 Falcons. How about you just go back and watch that team? All right, just do that for me. If you like that attitude, just go back and watch those videos. Because I'm not. We don't. What fans do, what us Falcons fans do, real Falcons fans, we don't sit here and talk about, oh, we're gonna suck anyway. We're gonna suck anyway. We're gonna suck. Come on, man.
And that's why I like what Myles Garrett said. He said it's not that embrace the suck anymore. It's not that. Mm-hmm. Y'all embracing the suck already. It ain't even started in the season yet.
Exactly.
That's a defeated mindset. We don't have a defeated mindset over here. So you can go to another channel and have that defeated mindset. Atlanta Falcon Nation, either you with us or you not. Period, point blank.
Cause the thing is, by having a mindset like that, that's like you getting it. That's like you about to go fight somebody. You already know you about to lose, so you're not even gonna try.
You ain't even gonna try.
So if I'm getting a fight, so I'm gonna use this example. If I'm about to fight Mike right now, if I'm about to fight him right now, and I'm already got the mindset, oh man, I can't fight, or I ain't got no hands. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna throw hands. I'm gonna get my ass whooped. And then you know what happens if I get my ass whooped? If my parents find out I get my ass whooped, they gonna whoop my ass. That's how it was as kids. That I know that's how it was for kids for me. If I didn't fight back, oh, you ain't fighting back against the parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I like what Isaac said right here. A prime example of good coaching is when Phil Jackson took over the Lakers and they won 3 straight. Another example is when Nate McMillan took over the exact same roster.
Damn.
But his mindset is they didn't win the championship, so he gonna say that don't count.
I mean, honestly, you can't get any worse than we were last year. That's any improvement is good for me. In my book.
I ain't got nothing nice to say to all these damn lazy. Look, man, it's so damn lazy to be negative. It's so lazy to be negative. What's the point of just waking up defeated?
That's the part I don't understand. It be so many of our fans so set on one player, 2 players, Matt Ryan. This is like, why are you even watching the team? Yes, that's the part I don't understand. Why are you even watching it if you just can't stand this player leading this team and whichever? Oh, we're gonna suck again. Why waste your money? Why buy jerseys? Why even do all of that if that's how you feel?
In reality, for what I think it is, and I'm just going off a limb here, I think they embrace the suck because it makes them feel better about themselves to know somebody else is struggling.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, you got that right.
So,
because I like that, Drew. You foam the ball, DQ clap, and he'd be like,
"Oh, here you go. Oh man, that's all right. That's all right. We got 3 pieces. We got 3 pieces for everybody. Oh,
we foaming together. We lost as a team, man.
Yeah,
one band, one sound. We suck.
Yeah, we're going to go to Dairy Queen for some blizzards. My treat. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And then you got some of the veterans looking at the sideline like, really, we gonna really do that? See, that's why my ass don't want to play with you.
Mm-hmm. Embrace the suck, man. I heard that when I first heard that, I was like, "Are you kidding me? I ain't embracing that crap. I'm trying to forget it. The hell you talking about? Embrace the suck."
So I got another analogy. You go to the club, you try to pick up on a chick, and she tells you no. You gonna give up on women?
Hey, no.
Because with a mindset, with that embrace the sub mindset, it's basically like that. You get turned out by one girl, now you giving up on women.
Mm-hmm. Forget that.
And Kev J said, should Oliver get another crack at outside corner with Pease running the defense and playing more man?
No.
Oh, whoa. Hold up. No. See, I got to take my hat off. See, this is what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about as Falcons fans. We love to just pick on one or two players. Everybody sucked. Why is it that we always want to focus on Caleb McGarry, Isaiah Oliver, and Matt Ryan? Why is it never everybody else's fault? They win, you win as a team, you suck as a team. Why is it that we always want to say, oh, Isaiah Oliver, he needs to improve? No, AJ Terrell needs to improve. We got safety. Eric, like we got two safety now. Do y'all even realize that our two starting safeties are no longer on this team anymore? But we still up here trying to pick on Isaiah Oliver. These are the things we're talking about as fans. We love to pick on the same two people over and over again. Not talking about, nobody said anything about Kenny Sheffield. Nobody saying anything about John Kaminsky. Nobody saying anything about, Marlon Davidson improving. But we still up here talking about Isaiah Oliver. Even though he is the starting nickel corner in the NFL, if you knew anything about the NFL, the nickel corner is on the field 50% of the time now. So he's essentially a starter. So again, as fans, let's hold everybody accountable. This is why we hire, and this is why I love the hire of Arthur Smith, because he's holding everybody accountable. Even the punter, even Detus and not. We're not holding people on the team just because they're on the team. He's getting rid of them. Detus and not can't play. You ain't playing for us. You ain't gonna hold up a roster spot. We're gonna bring somebody else in.
No, you did not just bring up Sterling Hoffrichter.
Yes. I wasn't gonna say his name. I wasn't gonna say his name because
I'll bring his name up because I was on his ass all off season, and he got cut, so I can't say that. But
that's all everybody.
And it's true. Drew, coaching is a big deal. And there was 8 games last season they lost by 1 score. With good coaching, we win 5 of those. Yeah, it's all in the coaching.
Yeah, you were literally at least 6 plays away from being 10-6, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could talk, like I could use the example. We could talk about that Kansas City game. AJ Terrell come up with that interception, game over. That's one play. As we know, the Dallas game, recover the onside kick. That's one right there. Chicago game. Motherfucking corner hadn't failed. Game right there. Lions game. One stop on a 50-second drive that was completed in 3 to 4 throws. I ain't gonna count the Green Bay game because everybody was falling on their ass that game, bro. They literally had one play when 6 people was open, and I didn't even know you had 6 receivers on the field.
Yeah, I'm saying this. Why? Look, it's not about picking on. The fact that everybody always saying that he needs to be outside. He doesn't need to be outside. He needs to be where he is. We saw him playing better inside, so I don't even understand why we looking at the outside. He needs to be a slot corner or he needs to be a safety. That's how he got the pick. The interception on Matt Ryan because he was playing safety inside. So this is what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's nothing you personally, I'm just tired of seeing the same people saying Isaiah Oliver, Matt Ryan. Every time something go wrong, it's Matt Ryan's fault. It's Isaiah Oliver. And we saw it last year. That's why we call Ricardo Allen AOL dial-up. Why he's never every time Isaiah Oliver gets beat, why is he never nowhere around? Him and Keanu Neal always tearing ACLs and Achilles, but we still talking about Isaiah Oliver need to improve.
Go back
I want to highlight Beetleborg. He's having a birthday. Is tomorrow. I want to highlight that. The only gift he wants for our Falcons to get a win and to have a great season. Go Falcons! So happy early birthday. Definitely. Everybody give him a happy birthday in the chat, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. There you go.
Yeah. Also want to give a shout out to my pops. His birthday is today actually too.
Hey, happy birthday!
You didn't tell me that. I could have told him happy birthday.
Man,
Mr. Daddy of the Kstlyz. How about that?
61.
Oh man. Good gracious. He's up there.
Yeah.
Your dad look good though. Your dad look good with 61. I damn sure give him that.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Hey. They goofy. My goofy ass. You see him, you know where it come from. So yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Got any more questions in there, y'all see?
No, I think we're gonna probably call this a early show tonight because I still gotta get up in the morning.
Right back on it tomorrow. We're gonna be on what 6 o'clock? It should be like 6 o'clock, 5:30. 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. So they can get at least an hour and a half of us, and then check out the preseason games. So,
Yeah. So I think this was a good episode, everybody. Tune back in tomorrow, like we said, at 6 o'clock. We'll be back on it right before the preseason game. I'm excited. We get some real football finally. Let's celebrate that.
Oh boy!
Hey,
oh my God.
Hey, prove it. We'll talk about the offensive line tomorrow. Like I said, we about to wind it down. Long days tomorrow.
Trust me, y'all about to get some crazy amount of content. So hit KSTYLZ up. All right, on his quest to 400. All right. I'll get the 6K. Everybody always make me feel bad for being. Y'all always make me feel bad for getting the 6,000, so I don't need to say 6,000. So.
Oh Lord, whatever, Mike.
Yeah, we don't
put some
give
confidence, some bass in your voice. Come on now.
You sound like Virgo life right now, bro. Keep your head up.
Y'all always picking on me. All I just want to do is
picking on yourself right about now. How about that?
I just want to give the fans what they want. Y'all just won't let
that's on you.
That just won't let me.
We ain't said nothing. You beating yourself up.
you embrace.
I'm embracing
exactly. Wow. Exactly. I was just about to get into that.
Oh man, y'all
don't embrace the suck.
Yeah. But I know I got stuff to do. So
hey man,
6 tomorrow, people. Tune in. We got a game tomorrow. So y'all let's get ready. I want to see all Falcons gear on my timelines, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Let me see y'all get ready. If y'all go into the game, let us know. We want to see some inside videos, everything. Y'all just show out. We'll be there soon. We'll probably choose another preseason game to go to, but I still got stuff to do with these kids. So Maggie won't be there, but we will be there soon. And you're out, prove it. Say it with your chest, Mike. That's right. Say it. Don't have Maggie over here sounding more managed than him. Come on now. Put some bass in your voice.
Bass in your voice.
Thank you. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. God damn it. Come in here with all that. Shoot.
What's up, Jay? We about to head out, man. We appreciate everybody for joining us, but you ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here.
Hell out of here.
Deuces.
Peace.